Okay, so I've just replaced the auxiliary battery, the 12-volt battery, in this Outlander Mitsubishi PHEV 2015 plate. It's all back in there. It turned out to be quite a story, really. There were certain things that went wrong, as you'll see in this video. Hopefully you'll see and get some good tips from this. The air vent was a problem on the battery. I locked myself out of the car from the boot because I closed it when the battery was out, which then closed the boot. And anyway, I hope you'll enjoy this video, but you'll learn something from it. It really is very easy to do, to replace the battery yourself. You'll save yourself some good money, plus also you'll probably do a better job than getting a professional fitter. I say with hesitation. Obviously a professional fitter in general is going to do a professional job, but there is a shortcut they may be tempted to take here, which could put you at a bit of risk, and it's to do with the air vent. Anyway, watch the video, and hopefully this will inspire you to change your own battery with your own Mitsubishi. Thanks for watching. So the auxiliary battery is in the boot of the car, so I need to get into that, and I will video the change. There's part of the battery, so I've got to take out this whole rear plastic piece to get to that battery, and then we'll go get a new battery and swap it over. So we've got a couple of screws there, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 at the back there. So let me go and do that. So that's the back lifted away. A lot of complex looking cables and things, but here is the battery just at the back. So what we need to do is make sure we get the exact same battery. And I was thinking this through last night. Pretty sure I need to disconnect the negative terminal first, then the positive. That's for any risks of shorts. If I disconnect the positive, then that's not so good. So disconnect the negative first, then the positive, undo these 2 screws here, bolts, and get the battery out, and then I'm going to pop off down to Halfords, make sure they've got this one in stock, and go and get myself a new battery, and then we'll show you how to fit that as well. A little note here, this is a 10mm nut, so I'm using my socket spanner here to undo that. That will just then move off. I've also noted that the cables on the top here are tied to the actual bracket, so I'm going to be careful to make sure that I keep that the same. We've got to get the exact same battery as well to make sure this works. Negative at the back, positive at the front. I have heard that different types of batteries have different size terminals. You can get adapters, but that seems a bit of a faff. And then also the other thing to note here that other people haven't shown on their videos, you've got an air pipe that comes out of the battery and goes underneath and out of the car. The reason for that is because this battery is in the car compartment, not under the bonnet. That means any gases that come out, you don't want those to fill the car, so you need to make sure that you also, if you go for a different battery, you make sure you still connect the air pipe. And I'm going to reconnect that before I actually lock in the new battery, because I've seen people struggle to fit in this gap here, so we'll do that as well. Anyway, let me just undo these terminals. Underneath the positive terminal, looks all very fancy, but that will be another 10mm nut there to undo, and then that will just be released free. Okay, interestingly, this nut on the positive terminal is not 10mm, it is 12mm. Okay, so now having just said that that's the 12mm, it's not that one I need to undo anyway, it's this one to the side, which will be a 10mm, and that's why that is 12mm, so you don't end up going undoing that when you're not supposed to do that. So hopefully you're still watching the video. This is the one to undo to release off this terminal. And a quick safety tip here as well, this is why I also suggest that you screw the negative terminal first of all, because now the negative of the battery is not connected to the chassis of the car, because that, as we can see, is disconnected, which means when I'm undoing the positive terminal, the risk of my spanner touching that which would be negative to the car and shorting is no longer valid. Whereas if my negative terminal was still connected and I happened to drop the spanner from the positive terminal to any metalwork on the car, then that would short, which would be spectacular sparks and really rather dangerous. So that's why a negative terminal first. So that's the battery lifted out, not too difficult at all. So now it's to go and check online and make sure this exact same battery is available, so I can go and pick it up or go and order one. But yes, that's the battery out of the socket there. So let's go and pick one up. I'm in the UK, so we'll use Halfords. There might be a link in the description to make sure you get the right one. But there's the product code and the charging capacity. So this is the one pretty sure I want as an alternative. It's the exact same dimensions, it's the same sort of power, but this one is only £89.95 compared to £190, £200 from alternative sources. So off we go to Halfords and go and get our new battery. So driving off to Halfords to go and get the battery, and it just occurred to me as I was looking up online, I closed the boot on the Outlander, didn't I? And without a battery in there, I now cannot open the boot, so I'm going to have to go in through the back of the car. So I closed the boot because I thought, well, I need to go off and get this battery, plus the weather's wet, as you can see, so I didn't want the rain going in. Anyway, that's another hassle to solve a little bit later. We're arriving at Halfords to go and get our new battery. Confirmation says it's arrived, so let's go see. Well, just come out, that all went very smoothly. Here is my new battery, exact same dimensions as the old battery, and it's got the the air vent section there on the negative terminal, exactly as with the old battery. So I can take that home now, put that in the car. So we've made the journey back home. Got my wonderful new battery, let's get the right way up, and it's identical in terms of dimensions and everything to the old one. Let's spin that round. And it is a Yasuda as well, which I hadn't realised, so that's good. However, we're now back here, and of course I closed the boot and all my tools are in there, but because there's no battery I can't open the boot now. So I'm going to have to go in, and this doesn't get any easier because we've got a dog guard in as well. But these challenges are here for inventive minds to find a solution. So let's get in there and get the battery replaced. Okay, so that's the back seat down. I can now see into the boot and I can see where I need to put the battery, but it's a bit of a climb through. I might be able to get in that bit there, which I opened just the other day. That might open the boot. I don't think it does. I think I saw someone else's video saying that doesn't release the boot, but let's go and have a go. Well, I hope you're enjoying this. I'm squashed in the back of the car, my head up against the roof. I am now looking, but I can't get the boot open, so I'm going to have to bring the battery in and just do it from here. Bit cumbersome, but hopefully a very enjoyable video. Okay, now I have the battery in the car. Just got to put it in the slot, but like I said earlier, I'm not going to make the mistake that I see other people making, which is not connecting the air pipe. So we're going to connect that first of all to the battery. Oh joy, it's a different size. You're kidding me. Okay, so just as I thought things were getting better, we now have a problem because the air extraction pipe doesn't fit into that hole on the new battery. That is too big. So I'm going to need to think of a solution for this. So let me have a think. So having had a think, this is the culprit. This connects to the pipe this side, and this end goes into the battery, but the battery hole on the new battery is too small. So this is called a battery vent pipe that I need, and so I have found local to me Ripon Auto Spares. I've just given them a call and they say they do battery vent pipes, so I'm going to pop up there now, take my battery with me and see if they've got something that will fit. So let's see how that gets on. So here we are, Ripon Auto Spares. Let's see if they do the right battery vent adapter. Well, I've just come out of Ripon Auto Spares, absolutely fantastic. They've got this adapter which fits in there perfectly, and it's just one he had knocking around at the back. Well, she said £1. That's my kind of offer. So yeah, big thumbs up to Ripon Auto Spares. Well done, guys. Let's go back and fit the battery. So, a bit of an epic journey out. We've now got the car battery with the appropriate vent pipe, so I'm going to just climb back in the car and then get the battery fitted. So there's a few things that probably wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been wanting to record this for YouTube, but I thought it'd be a useful video to do. So one thing wouldn't have happened: I wouldn't have closed the boot, wouldn't have locked myself out of the car effectively. I haven't locked myself out of the car, I'm still getting the side door. But yeah, let's get that battery back in. Now here's just another thought. For doing this myself, I've managed to get the proper air vent adapter connector, which I suspect, and I may be disingenuous, but if I'd gone to Halfords or some other garage to get the battery done and I wasn't there watching them over them, I think if they hadn't got that right connector, I think they'd have been very tempted just to leave it disconnected and you drive off on your way, which does give you a risk because it's there for a reason. It's the air vent to stop the nasty gases coming off of the battery. So very important that that's there. So first thing I'm going to do is connect the pipe back onto here, then drop the battery in its slot. And just before I do that as well though, just want to point out these Japanese battery terminals are a lot smaller than the old ones, but there's the metal washer inside the cap there, so I just need to get that out somehow. I'd like to, there we go, so just pop it on the top, so that's the spacer to make it the right size for our European terminals. So let's get this the right way round. Positive up this end, negative up that end. And here again, just another reminder, connect the positive first, because you can see my ratchet there hitting the metal there. So if I'd connected the negative, then that would short straight from the positive of the battery straight to the metalwork of the car. So very important that. And I've also left a plastic cover on the negative just to make sure that that terminal didn't end up just touching onto that whilst I was tightening up the nuts and bolts here. So that's the battery back secure in its place, positive terminal connected. Now for me the nervous bit of actually connecting the negative. Yes, I don't know if we're going to get sparks or the car alarm going off, so I'm just going to get the key ready. Okay, no sparks, that's good, that's nice. Right, so that's on, just got to tighten up that nut now. Now just before you stop watching, because that is essentially the job done, I do want to say, having put this video together, there is, and for you having watched it, I'd appreciate your comments. If I've done anything wrong or you think there's something I could have done better, let us know in the comments. If you've enjoyed my quest, then that also be appreciated. But there's also a gift for watching this video. If you go to thanksforwatching.com, that's my website. There's a free gift as my bonus for you if you want. For the last well, since 2001 I've been able to work completely online. That's my sole source of income, and so I've got some suggestions there. If you fancy a little side hustle or perhaps a more substantial income, then do check out my website at thanksforwatching.com. That's pretty much it. I will just show the final pieces going back in and give a summary in just a moment. So I just pressed the keys and hooray, I can open the boot again. So there it is, That was an effort, working inside that confined space to put that battery in. That wouldn't have happened if I was trying to record a video. Actually, it probably would have happened because it was raining. I still needed to go out and get the pipe for the battery. In theory, the battery could have been ordered and arrived here, and you know, day or two for that, but then I still wouldn't have had that pipe, so I'd have still had to have gone out. So the boot, I would have probably locked myself out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me just put the back in and give you one final shot of that. It really is very easy to do, to replace the battery yourself. You'll save yourself some good money, plus also you'll probably do a better job, and hopefully this will inspire you to change your own battery with your own Mitsubishi. Thanks for watching.